Let's talk about adding similar fractions. When you say similar fractions, these are fractions having the same denominator. For example, 2/9 and 4/9. 2/9 and 4/9 are considered similar fractions because they have the same denominator, which is 9. Now, how do we add similar fractions? Let's find out through our examples. First, what is 2/10 added by 4/10? 2/10 and 4/10 are similar fractions because they have the same denominator, which is 10. Now, for us to add these similar fractions, we will follow these steps. So let's have 2/10 plus 4/10. According to our steps, the first thing that we need to do is to add the numerators. So that will be 2 plus 4, that is equal to 6. Then, we copy the common denominator, which in this case is 10. So 2/10 plus 4/10 is equal to 6/10. But we are not done yet because our step says that we need to reduce the answer to simplest form. That means we will divide the numerator and the denominator by their greatest common factor. We learned previously that to find the GCF of two numbers, we will use continuous division method. So let us do that here. Let's find the GCF of 6 and 10. 6 and 10 are both even numbers, so we can divide them by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 3 and 5 are already prime numbers, so that means we will stop dividing here. Therefore, the GCF of 6 and 10 is 2. And when we divide 6 and 10 by 2, we will get 3 and 5. Therefore, 6/10 in simplest form is 3/5. So our final answer is 2/10 plus 4/10 is equal to 3/5. Now let's proceed to our next example. What is 1 and 1/15 increased by 3 and 4/15? This time we are given mixed fractions. And they are similar fractions because again they have the same denominator. Now how are we going to add similar fractions, or specifically mixed fractions which are similar? For us to do that, these are the steps that we will follow. Let's have 1 and 1/15 plus 3 and 4/15. The first step says that we need to add the whole numbers. So let's add 1 and 3. 1 and 3 when added is equal to 4. Next is we add the numerators. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. Then we copy the common denominator, which is 15. And again, the last step is to reduce the answer to simplest form. Okay, so let's reduce the fraction, which is 5/15, into its simplest form by using continuous division method. So 5 and 15 are both divisible by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, 1 and 3 are already prime numbers, so we'll stop dividing here. That means the simplest form of 5/15 is 1/3. Okay, so the final answer will be 4 and 1/3. Let's try some more examples. What is 3/7 more than 5/7? Again, these are the steps that we need to follow. We'll have 3/7 plus 5/7. 3 plus 5 is 8. Then we copy the common denominator, which is 7. This time, our answer is an improper fraction. Therefore, we need to regroup our answer. And when you say regroup, it means that we will change this improper fraction into a mixed fraction. How are we going to do that? We'll just simply divide the numerator by the denominator. So we'll have 8 divided by 7. 8 divided by 7 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Then we'll have a remainder 1. Okay. The quotient that we got will be our whole number. So that will be 1. And our remainder will be the numerator. And the divisor will be our denominator. That means 3 sevenths plus 5 sevenths is equal to 1 and 1 seventh. 1 and 1 sevenths is already in its simplest form. So now let's proceed to our next example. What is the sum of 1 and 3/8 and 7/8? For us to get the sum of these numbers, we will follow these steps. Let's have 1 and 3/8 plus 7/8. So let's add the whole numbers. 1 plus 0, since there's no whole here, so we'll have 1. 3 plus 7 is 10, and the common denominator is 8. Now, as you can see, our fraction in the answer that we got is an improper fraction. So that means we will need to regroup it. So let's divide 10 and 8. 10 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times 8 is 8. Then we'll have 10 minus 8 is 2. So that means 10/8 will be rewritten as 1 and 2/8. But let us not forget that we still have here a whole, which is 1. So we will add 1 plus 1. That will give us 2. Then we copy 2/8. Now 2/8 is not yet in its simplest form, so let us reduce it to its simplest form. Let's use continuous division. Okay, 2 and 8 are both divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. That means the simplest form of 2 and 2/8 is 2 and 1/4. Okay, and this will be our final answer. Now let's have another example. What is 3 and 7/12 added to 2 and 8/12? Again, for us to do this, we will follow these steps. Okay, 3 and 7/12 plus 2 and 8/12. 3 plus 2 is 5. 7 plus 8 is 15. Then we copy the common denominator, which is 12. Now let's change 15 over 12 into mixed fraction. 15 divided by 12 is 1. 1 times 12 is 12. Then we'll have a difference of 3. So we will rewrite 15/12 as 1 and 3/12. Then let us not forget that we have here 5 as a whole. So 5 plus 1, that will give us 6. Then we copy 3/12. And 3/12 is not yet in its simplest form, so we will reduce it. Okay, 3 and 12 are both divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Therefore, the simplest form of 6 and 3/12 is 6 and 1/4. And that's it for the first part of our lesson.